Hi everybody, Lorelei again. Tonight, no makeup. This is supposed to be documenting my journey, and after my first video, and I've been thinking about it a little bit, maybe the really heavy makeup is not so true to the journey itself. However, I will be keeping the wig on because my hair is really short right now. Once my hair grows out, I will, you'll get to see my real hair, which is totally salt and pepper, turning very gray, but it's super short right now and I just don't like the way it looks. So I'm trying to let it grow out. And if you did notice, the glasses don't have lenses. I really like the glasses. It's two purposes. One, it hides the little bags under my eyes. Even though the makeup does that quite well, if I'm not really going to wear a lot of makeup, I still like the glasses to help with that. Trying to use a lot of moisturizer now and drink more water. That's helping. Also, the second reason is street signs are beginning to evade my vision. They're getting really blurry until I get real close to them. So I'm going to need glasses real soon. And these are my partner's old glasses. I just popped the lenses out to train my ears to get used to having glasses on them. The first couple of days it really hurt a lot, but I'm really getting used to them now. So I mean, it might seem kind of goofy, but I figured if I'm going to be wearing glasses probably for the rest of my life, I might as well start getting used to them now. Hi, I'm Lorelei, and I'm back again this time to talk about logical fallacies. When we're trying to communicate with other people and get a point across and get them to understand something, logical fallacies can really get in the way. We really need to learn how to communicate better, and to do this we need to learn how to spot and avoid logical fallacies. We shouldn't use them, and we don't want to let other people use them on us because they can stifle a conversation. They can cut you off and make you feel like you've lost the argument when you actually haven't. A fallacy, it's the wrong way to come at a point of conversation. There are tons of logical fallacies to look out for. It's quite a daunting task to learn them all, but we can focus on a few each week or a couple and see where we can go from there. The easiest ones to start with would be an ad hominem attack. If they insult you on a personal level and don't confront to the issue you're talking about, that's just an ad hominem attack. There are plenty of videos online all over about the logical fallacies and how to deal with them. So you can look those up. I won't go over in detail about them, but I'll bring up a lot of the ones that we deal with the most in conversations about this. Straw man is a really big one. They will take an argument and strip out, or they'll take a premise and strip out some of the important stuff that they don't know how to handle, and they'll only leave certain pieces that they can break down. They make it a straw man that's easy to knock over. It's an incomplete argument. It's easier to defeat. We've got to learn to recognize that when they leave out key points and somehow make it look like they're morally or intellectually superior and they've won the argument, they actually haven't, because they haven't covered all of the points of the argument. The ad hominem, like I just mentioned before, the ad hominem attack is really easy to spot. If they insult you personally, if they say you're stupid, you're ugly, you're fat, whatever it might be, a personal insult doesn't really solve the issue. It doesn't bring a conclusion to the discussion. However, pay attention to this. If they say you are incorrect because this and you're ugly, that's not really an ad hominem. It's just a personal attack, but they also answered the question, and a lot of people will do that. It's the internet. Insults are everywhere. I think the internet is made of insults these days. But we need to learn how to communicate better, and learning our logical fallacies would be a really good start. It is mind-bogglingly boring. If you spend an hour, which there are some videos about logical fallacies that are an hour long, and your brain will melt unless you're really into that kind of thing. You can find some humorous ones. There was one that I ran into the other day that was really good. The person used, I think it was about a 3-minute section of a Trump speech during the election runoffs, and he found like 10 or 13 something logical fallacies in a 3-minute speech by Trump. Pretty amazing, don't you think? I mean, wow. that quick, that many fallacies. They're everywhere, all over. It's a really good idea to learn the logical fallacies so you don't use them. If you use a lot of logical fallacies, you could get knocked down, even though you are supporting a good cause and you're on the right side of the cause, and you are for what is morally correct. If you use logical fallacies, you could still fail in your argument. And I think this is one of the biggest problems that liberalistic people such as myself, I don't like to call myself a liberal. I don't feel like I need that label. I am an atheist, and I'm more humanist. I care for everybody. And yes, the liberal side of politics is for the greater good of everybody. But you get too many far left liberals that really are extreme, and an extreme of anything is bad if you go too far with it. So anyway, I'm rambling. The liberal side of politics is more toward good moralistic outcomes. We want what's good for everybody. We want proper freedoms and regulations that make everybody be able to have these freedoms. Even if you're on the side of the argument that is looking for freedoms for everybody, which most people perceive as morally correct, not even the moral high ground, it's morally correct. If you use a lot of logical fallacies, you're going to run into trouble, because the conservative side, the other side, whatever you want to call them, the alt-right, is going to be using tons of logical fallacies, and some of them are very hard to spot, some of them are very hard to beat. Sometimes the only thing you can do when you spot a logical fallacy is literally just call it out. There is no response other than just saying, that's a logical fallacy, this is the fallacy it is, please stick to the issue. Let's talk about the issue here. And what we were discussing was point A, point B, whatever it might have been. Don't let the conversation degrade down into a endless torment of logical fallacies thrown around on both sides. That's not going to get anything done. The rhetoric that is going around these days on so many of the groups that I'm in is just hundreds of comments of logical fallacy after logical fallacy, and it's just an infinite loop of idiocy that no wonder nothing's getting solved. Everybody's using incorrect logic, and logic will fix problems. It will. 100% proper logic will fix a problem if both sides use the logic. If you avoid logical fallacies and you communicate in a logical and concise manner, the other side is left with no recourse except to say, I hate X because I just do. Because that's the way it's always been done, because I grew up being taught to hate it, or because I grew up hating it, or because it's just wrong. Well, you've left them with no ground to stand on except for their faulty logic. The only thing they can say is, well, I just hate it because it's wrong. But why? You have no logical stance as to why it's wrong. So even if you depart that conversation or argument with no clear resolution there, if they're literally just saying, well, that's stupid and it's wrong and I'll never agree with that, you've still won the argument. Even if you aren't trying to win an argument, you've come out on top, and that is very important, because if a person loses an argument enough to logic, hopefully the hope is that at some point they will see that their belief is illogical, and maybe that'll be the first steps to changing it. And maybe if enough of us start learning our logical fallacies and start using proper communication skills, we can start to change minds. And yes, it's going to be a very slow process. It's going to take a while. But if we really work on it, I think we can make it happen, because that's how this all got this way. That's how it all got here. A really long, slow process of just super subtle nudges, mental nudges, in a certain direction is how we got to where we are today. Advertising and corporate mindset has trained America to think the way it thinks right now. And it's going to be a really long, arduous task to untrain. But I really think that some of the generations that are coming up, the millennials, as much hell as they catch on the internet, are actually going to be a big impetus in that change, because they're beginning to see through some of this bullshit. Millennials don't even daydream about having big fancy cars and a mansion and a yacht. They're literally, like, their daydream is to have affordable housing and healthcare and a decent job. I mean, what the hell? Wow. You know, when things have gotten so bad that the biggest dream that millennials can have is just a decent apartment and a good job and some healthcare. Something's gone wrong. Capitalism is eating itself alive. Ouroboros. It's eating its own tail until it's going to be pretty much gone soon. That's not going to be pretty either. That's not going to be easy times, but it's inevitable. It's got to change. It will change. And hopefully we make it all through it okay. Anyway, my name is Lorelei. Thanks for watching my videos. More coming soon. I am thinking about maybe doing a reading. Maybe Animal House or Orwell's 1984. I don't know. Anything else politically minded, maybe? Something that would be fun read-ish. But if y'all have any ideas, let me know, and I'll make that a kind of a separate little, some separate little videos. I'll just read the book and put the videos out there, you know. Also, any other topics that you would like to hear of? Talked about logical fallacies today, and I'll be bringing them up a lot in the future. Probably, you know, in every few videos, I'll be mentioning a logical fallacy more in depth and talking about it, just to keep it on our minds. So thanks for watching. Have a great evening. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And down below in the comments section is a link to my Patreon page. Supporting me on Patreon will help me get better equipment and be able to make better videos. Thanks.